So welcome back here to Snetterton. Now it's time for the Axe Murderers, the Supersport 600s. 81 there, that's Mike Goodfellow. On to the start line. Number 69 there is the man alongside him. And that's Phil Seaton, of course. 84. The man just inside of him there. I think it's number 7. Yes, indeed it is. Danny Fowler. That, of course, races the British Supersport 600 class as well. So lights have gone to green. And there are lots of them out there. Let's hope they all make it past the first corner. We call them the Axe Murderers because that's exactly what this lot are. 81 then leads. Mike Goodfellow. Number 8 there goes through as well. That's Andy Weymouth. Shane Adams. So as they start to spread out a bit, then 7, Danny Fowler from Broadstairs on the bike shop Faversham machine, the Yamaha, that's in second place, chasing down the man out front at the moment. Number 81, Mike Goodfellow from Cranley, on the Cranley Freight Honda. So Yamaha chasing Honda, the battles are on further down. 69, Phil Seaton there from Colchester on the 60 Chili machine, chasing down in 4th place. So it's a full class, always is for the 600s. Remember, these are basically production machines. They are permitted to do a certain amount of tinkering with them, but not an awful lot. 41, he's in there as well. Battling hard, that's Anthony Cooper from Great Yarmouth. So 81 still leads it, and 84 beginning to come on now. Paul Seward, he's on the Pompey Tyres Yamaha, and they are battling for those positions, as they always do in this class. That's what I call them Axe Murderers. You've got to be one to go out there and ride in the 600s. Either that or totally start having bonkers. Seward closing down the man up front at the moment as they come through to complete another lap here at Snetterton. Round 1 of the MRO Supersport 600s for this year, providing us as always with superb action as the rest of the field make their way through to pick up another lap. What's going on at the front? It's still Goodfellow that has it on the 81 bike. It's still Seward behind him in second place. Who is in third at the moment? As the sun comes out, it's the 69 bike that's moved up to third. Then the 41 bike on. So Phil Seaton hanging on to that position from Tony Cooper right behind him at the moment. So that's the battle for third position. But this is the battle for the lead. Seward closing down on race leader. Third. This is 4th, and we've got a tussle on here because into that fray comes Danny Fowler on the number 7 bike. So Danny, bit of an old hand at this 600 game now. Danny, of course, from Broadstairs, 42 going through there. Not that high in the order at the moment, but certainly enjoyed his racing nevertheless. That's what's important out there, to enjoy your racing. It's Ben Taylor, actually, that was. No change to the front. Any changes for third? No. Any changes for 4th? Can't see back behind him at the moment, but the top 3 still the same, stay the same. 81 Mike Goodfellow from 84 Paul Seward. Those are the top 2, and Seward is closing up that gap, lap after lap here, and they're lapping at around, let's have a look at the speed, it's down here. They're lapping at about 111, so that's pretty fast around the circuit. 94 goes through there, beautifully turned out machine. That's Doug Cannon from Pitstone. So this is the battle for first place. No change, as it has been for the previous several laps. Paul Stewart there on that 84 bike, still chasing down the 81 bike of Mike Goodfellow. As the rest of the field pick their way through, that's the 22 machine there just going through. That's Gary Johnson, and Gary quite a way down the field at the moment, but there's a lot of bikes out there, and if you don't get a good start, it's a tough old one. 92 in amongst that group as well. It's Gareth Davis, actually. Here they come. First 2 pulling away from third place man, which still is 69, Phil Seaton. Phil himself, I think, being caught at the moment by Jason Page, I think it is. We'll take another look when they come round, but this is that tussle, say, at the front. Coming down into the bomber once again, and Paul Stewart starting to pick up the pace. Obviously feeling comfortable with the tyres. 79, I think that was just going through there. That is indeed Jason Page. Now, where is Phil Seaton? Well, Phil, I think, is just out in front of that fourth place man, so that's another little battle. So we've got a tussle on for first, a tussle on for third. And Seward has closed that gap. He's looking to draft up the inside, or is he going to go from the outside? No, he isn't. Not close enough at the moment. There's third. Here's that battle for fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Well, they're all chasing down fourth place at the moment. That would be an enviable place to be in fourth place, I think, because you've got a swarm of 600s right behind you. Race leader, second, no change. Third place man, just gone through. This is that battle for fourth. Who has fourth at the moment? It looks like 79. Yes, indeed, it is Jason Page. Andy Weymouth is in there as well. And so is Bill McQueen. Oh, off the track goes number 29. Well, he's obviously found the shortcut. Won't work. Charlie Foster. Oh, sorry, Charlie. I don't know where you were going, but it didn't work out that quite as well as back and forward. 7. Still in there. Danny Fowler. Fowler dropping back, believe it or not. Expected him to be a little higher on the order, but it is dropping back. This is that battle out front. It's still Goodfellow. It's still Seward. And at the moment, Paul Seward just doesn't seem to be able to find a way past the man out front. Maybe he'll wait to the last couple of laps before he makes his charge, or he pounces on Mike Goodfellow. Give him a bit of a surprise. Less chance, of course, for him to make a comeback. There's 7. So Danny Fowler's still in there, still chasing hard. So come through. Danny, I think, 5th, 6th, counting through. First and second, no doubt about those two. It's still Mike Goodfellow on the 81 bike that leads it. Paul Seward on the 84 bike in second place. So it's a good tussle here between the Yamaha and the Honda. It's the Honda that actually leads it. And I think Seward's now decided where he's going to make the move. Here he comes into the S's as they come up towards the start and finish. He is now close enough to pop out of the slipstream and have a crack, and he's going for it. Yes, he does. Last lap flag. No, it's a yellow flag. I thought that was the last lap flag. There's third place. So we've still got a few more laps to go. So still an opportunity for Mike Goodfellow to make it back into first place. So as the rest of the field comes screaming through, it's still Paul Seward now, the new race leader here in the Supersport 600 race. Round 1 here at Snetterton for this year's MRO Series. And Mike Goodfellow, early race leader, unable at the moment to do anything about the man behind him. Well, the man in front of him, because he was behind him originally, of course. As the rest of the field make their way through. That's the 16 machine there of Andy Sawford. Pretty recognisable with that distinctive fairing colour. That's third, and there he is, fourth place. Jason Page closing up on third place, man, Phil Seaton. So Seaton having to work hard on the Kawasaki. Flag goes out again. So as the rest of the field come through, picking up the remaining places that are available, that's a yellow flag, I think, not a last lap flag. A little bit hand over the flag like that. It is quite windy here today, but look at this now. Goodfellow beginning to close back up Paul Seward. So I think Paul will have to keep a watchful eye side to side in case Mike Goodfellow tries to pop a quick one up the inside on one of these corners. That's the 77 bike, I think they're going through. Indeed it is. That's Christian Attu. And Christian running down around the top 10 at the moment. Oh, and that's that battle for third, and oh, I thought that was all over then. Holy smoke, Jason Page trying to go underneath Phil Seaton. Oh, that's not the place to do it, but he tried, so you've got to give him full marks of the effort. Here we come again. So I think he'll be having another look next time around. That looks like Andy Sawford just going through. Trying to say distinctive with that fairing colour. So any change at the front, and the answer to that is no, no, no. They're in amongst the back markers, so this is where it can all go crucially wrong for the race leader, or even second place man, if those back markers don't obey the blue flags and move over. But it's pretty tough when you're already on your own racing line. You're into a corner and you'll get the blue flag waved in your nose. Difficult to go over your shoulder in time. That's Phil Seward. Oh, and here they come again. The Seaton holds off Jason Page on that 79 machine into the S's. Oh, look at this, a good banner. Well, we did call them the ex-murderers, and they are. They're crazy, isn't it? But they love their racing. Very competitive class, the 600. So very much standard machines. There is a bit of tuning. We've got another group behind. They're all battling for points. Andy Weymouth in 5th place, says John Ward, race commentator here. So, and that's the last lap flag for sure. So if Goodfellow's going to do it, he's got to do it now. There's a whole gaggle of back markers in front of him, so that really could play a crucial part in who wins this race. It's still Paul Seward on the 84 bike. It's still Mike Goodfellow there on the 81 bike. And there is the 16 bike going through there of Andy Salford. And he's got the number 7 bike right behind him of Danny Fowler. Then it looks, I think that was the 34 bike of John Anderton, former Grand Prix 125 racer. So here we go, we're looking for the checkered flag and it's out. And Paul Seward then confirmed the winner from Mike Goodfellow. Jason Page finally made 3rd from Phil Slayton. Andy Weymouth on 3, Andy Cooper, Andy Thorpe, Danny Fowler fell down to 9, or just didn't have to. 10. So there he is, and on top, Paul Seward. He wins this one. Welcome back here to part 2 and to Croft for the second round of this year's MRO Powerbike Tour. These are the Axe Murderers, the Supersport 600s, number 81 there on the line. That's Mike Goodfellow. 79 lines up right alongside him. That's Jason Page with number 7, Danny Fowler there, as the lights are about to change to green, and away they go. So the Supersport 600's making their way down to the first corner. And it's the 81 bike then of Mike Goodfellow that leads them through, with the 26 bike there in second place of that's Phil Stewart. The 69 bike there of Phil Seaton on the Kawasaki, tucked up there around the top 6. So as these Supersport 600s get their way around on lap 1 of this rather damp Croft circuit here up in Yorkshire, it is Mike Goodfellow there on the 81 bike that leads them through, and Goodfellow going for guns on this one. Goodfellow from Cranley on the Cranley Freight Honda, looking very much a winner. 26 is the man behind him. Then that looks like 22 in 3rd place. That's Gary Johnson from Brigg on one of those Dynamax UK machines. They say that the track itself is drying out, as you can see, but it's still pretty slippery out there. We've had intermittent rain here at Croft between the classes, so they're going to have to be very, very careful as to what they do out there. Easy to lose the back end of a bike, and in this particular class of racing, it's elbows, handlebars and tail races at times. Goodfellow leads it, 81. 26 is the man that still sits there behind him comfortably, looking to make a move through Phil Stewart. There is the number 7 bike of Danny Fowler from Broadstairs on the Peter Lawrence Racing as the rest scrap it out for the remaining places. Keith Watt just in there, number 9, and number 57 there. That's Justin Foster from Thetford. He hasn't had to travel too far to be here. Goodfellow down the back straight now into the right-hander on the fastest parts of the circuit, hard on the brakes, and they tip in there. There's no change in the first 2, and he changes the 3rd. No, it's still 22 that has it at the moment, and it's still the number 7 bike of Danny Fowler there in 4th. We're looking back for 5th. That looks like number 8 that has that at the moment. That's Andy Weymouth from Grays down there in London. So little tussle going on there, and with these 600s, it's an absolute packed grid. The 22 bike there still in second place of Gary Johnson, but the scraps are further down, 21 and 8, so 21's moved up a place. Bridget Freshwater, here they come. As I said, it's a capacity grid. It looks like the 69 bike there of Phil Seaton's coming through, although I apologise if it isn't. But it's a Kawasaki, that's for sure. Race leader, Mike Goodfellow, well, he's looking good for this. The man behind him, still on that 26 bike, is Phil Stewart. And well, he's trying his best to get through. The 21 bike going through there, and he's making up places, I think, at the moment. And that's Richard Freshwood, of course. A little bit further down, that looked like 85. I might be wrong there on that one. That was Paul Corlicott just going through there, but they go through so rapidly here on these bottom sets of corners. But that's the race leader, no mistake in that man. 81, Mike Goodfellow, has basically led from the change of the lights. He's still being closely watched and pursued by the 26th bike of Phil Stewart, and Stewart will be looking to make a pass somewhere. Just any mistake by the man in front will let Stewart up there onto his back wheel. I think maybe Phil is just playing a waiting game, learning the lines of the man in front and just waiting to see where he can maybe just sneak up the inside or the outside. As they come through the complex here, that's the 21 bike still there with the 88 bike now looking to be closing down Neil McQueen. And I think, of course, if my memory serves me right, it used to be an extra Premier 250. 57 in amongst that group, having his own little war. Justin Foster, the Thetford-based man, 81 and 26, and they are closing up. There is no doubt that Stewart is closing up on Goodfellow. So as I said, that I think that Phil is just looking to see where maybe he has a chance of sticking the nose of that bike through. 8 and 91, I think that is. 91 would be Martin Jowett, and the 8 bike, of course, ridden by Andy Weymouth. So whether we've got a bit of a tussle on between those two, I think we may well have. So as they go through, Sun has now shown it. So are we going to change at the front? Well, I just caught the clips there. There is Danny Fowler, and I think we may have had a change at the front there momentarily. Sun's come out. There's the 91 bike pursued by 8, and the rest of this motley crew going through. It's an absolutely capacity grid here. No space left for anyone. That looks like the 9 bike going through there, and that, of course, is Keith Watt. The rest of the guys bunch up, looking for that opportunity to find a way through. Yes, indeed, I was right in that assumption that it is Phil Stewart that's gone into the lead. Goodfellow looking to get back at him up the inside, and he did it on a wet patch of the track as well. Remember, these guys are on basically standard tyres. The machines are, well, I'm not going to say standard, because I was advised by a gentleman who races in the Aprilia 1000, Mr. Jones, that these bikes aren't as standard as I always assumed they were. They are tuned in several different areas. And a change then back at the front, because Goodfellow has gone back through, as we saw just moments ago, into the lead. Stewart pushed back to second place, so he's got to do it all over again. The 21 bike going through there of Richard Freshwater. And Phil Seaton there behind him. So it is corner-to-corner action with these guys. That's the 64 Kawasaki there, just going through our picture of Craig Sproulston from Southport. That's the race leader, and looking to put a bit of a gap, I think. And at the moment, Phil Stewart, well, he's losing touch, I think. Goodfellow has said, you've had one chance and that's all you're going to get, because I'm gone. 69 and 8, of course, that is Andy Weymouth, and the 69 bike belonging to Phil Seaton from Colchester on the Seaton tuning machine, and those two having their own little private war at the moment, as we once again rejoin the race leader out front. Goodfellow has led this race with the exception, I think, of about one lap, where the man now in second place got through, Phil Stewart, and I think at the moment Phil is thinking, that to me looks like Danny Fowler chasing down the man in front, but that's the 2 at the front, no change. Now who is in third? Let's have a look now. It's still the 22 bike that's there at the moment, Gary Johnson, but Fowler is closing down on him, so that's the battle for third place currently at the moment on the track. First and second still in the hands of 81, this man, Mike Goodfellow, with the number 26 bike of Phil Stewart there behind him. There is Stewart, and he's dropping back, so maybe he's just gone a little bit too early. A change for third then. Fowler has gone through past 22, Gary Johnson for third place, so maybe Danny Fowler is having a look at the lead. The 88 bike goes through there of Neil McQueen as the rest. And there is that 21 bike. Well, Richard Freshwater dropping off the pace. He's got Andy Weymouth behind him now on that 8 bike. So the old tyres, I think, are beginning to just go off a little bit here. Presumably the lads would have fitted a wet tyre, although they are all on basically the same kind of tyre in this class. So that is that battle now for third once again. There's the race leader. Keep an eye out on 7, Danny Fowler, because there's no doubt I think he's closing up on that man. 26, Phil Stewart. Phil Stewart, of course, on the Honda, you recognise it by that single plate at the back. 88, Neil McQueen going through. There's the 84 bike there. And that, of course, is Paul Seward. Seward, if my memory's not too wrong, was the winner of the opening round at Snetterton. So as they battle through, 22 and 26, so changes are coming, there's no two ways about that. Seward, of course, the winner of the opening round, as I've just said, 24 points, and Mike Goodfellow finished second with 20 points. So at the moment, if Seward was to get back up to second place, and they would have finished like that, it would be in. But at the moment, on track, Danny Fowler, number 7, closing up. He had a 9th in round 1, just 7 points, so a better finish here today will certainly help his thoughts of taking this championship crown at the end of the season. Oh, big clouds are coming over again. We could get some more rain, but this is that battle. Look at Danny Fowler, number 7. Danny rides in the British 600 series. Well, he's all over. The man out front, that's number 84, winner of round 1. Paul Seward goes through. There's the checkered flag. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Goodfellow. Yeah, Fowler couldn't find a way through. Gary Johnson there in third from Phil Stewart, Paul Stewart, Neil McQueen, Phil Seaton, Martin Jowett, Richard Freshwater and Andy Weymouth. Well, that would now put, I think that man, Mike Goodfellow, in the championship lead. Oh, there they are, top 3. Welcome back here again then to Alton Park. This is round 3 of the MLA Powerbike Tour for 2004. We have now the axe murderers on the line, as we call them, the Supersports 600s. Number 32 there, that's Kenny Gilbertson, and that's the 79 bike, of course, of Jason Page. As we just run across the front row of the grid, you can see how wet it is. The number 7 bike there on the inside of Danny Fowler. The lights are about to go to green, I think. They're making their final preparations. Visors down, bike in first gear. There we go. Well, we've already seen the chainsaw murders in the programme, the 400s. These are the axe murders. I think it's maybe Danny Fowler that's got the drop on the rest on the number 7 bike. It's still very wet, as you can see. Eased off, but it started to rain again, but it's I think it's starting to ease off again. So conditions certainly not conducive to good fast racing. It's more a question of survival. Oh, we've lost somebody there, and that looks like the 32 bike. Indeed it is. That's Kenny Gilbertson out of this one. So he hasn't even managed to complete the lap, but it is Fowler that leads it. Danny Fowler that leads. That looks like the 34 bike of John Anderton, the Belfast-based man in second place, and he's elbows everywhere. I did tell you about this, didn't I? You learn your racing on the Supersport 600, you're good for anything. 77 in there as well, that's Christian Attu from Norwich. Look at the exhaust pipe on that, they're looking at the programme. So as the rest of the field make their way through, that's 54. James Storer from Perth. It's wet, it's cold, and it's not nice. But here they come, and so we have a change at the front. Anderton now leads it. Fowler's there in second place, and the battles are on right down through the field, as you can see. There's no holds barred in this stuff, I can tell you. They just go for it, corner to corner. As we wait for the lead into, and Fowler's found a way back through again past Anderton. So these two having a right good old scrap. The number 17 bike in there in third place. I think that was a 17 bike, I'm not absolutely sure. It certainly looked like it from here. It's pretty difficult to read some of these numbers in these wet conditions, but it was a 17 bike going through. It's Duncan Burns if it is. Wait for him to come back down the hill again. Just thinking of those Hondas with that singlet exhaust sticking out from under the rear seat. Pretty easy to spot from any distance. That's the 94 bike there of Doug Cameron. So here we come. These are the top three. Fowler is still there in second place. So change back at the front again. Anderton has found his way through. I'll try and pick up who that is back there in third in just a moment. I suspect. I'm not quite sure who it is. I've got my suspicions at the moment, but I'll find out the next time we come around through the Folkestone chicane. Here, he's into Folkestones now. It's still Anderton leads. It's still the number 7. Oh, twitch there for Fowler. That does look at 17. That's there. And if that doesn't say 17, that of course is Burns, Duncan Burns. Right place at the moment there in third place. Hill again. But it's certainly not running with the guys at the front. Here we go. It is still. Now, do we have a four-way little tussle going on here now? Because we've seen someone joining at the back on that yellow fairy machine. Not quite sure who that is as yet. It could be Christian Atty, that. So the rest of the field come down. It's pretty difficult to make them out. They're doing about 160 miles an hour down there, that particular moment in time. It's still Anderton that leads. It's still Fowler there in second. Then it's Burns, and it's the 22 bike I can see there of Gary Johnson. That's the 34 bike of Simon Pato that just went through. As the rest of the field just have their own little wars with each other, like they normally do, corner to corner to corner. 55 in there. That's Tony Kirtley with number 6 Brian Bartlett right on his tail. Meanwhile, Bacon still commences out front. It's still Anderton that leads. I think we've got a change in second now. Because so that 17 bike has gone through Duncan Burns to second place. There's those two again. So as I said, with 600 racing, it's very competitive right through the field, not just at the front, but right down almost to last place. It's a full grid, total grid of riders, always oversubscribed class. And of course 600 is probably the most popular sports bike on the roads in the UK at present, probably around the world, if you think about that. So that's the long straight, that's Lakeside, and the way the weather is today, it almost is Riverside. Have we a change at the front? Yes we do. Burns has gone through. Anderton back to second. Fowler there in third, and the 22 bike of Gary Johnson hanging on to fourth. As the rest make their way through, there's the 84 bike just going through there, trying to catch the guys in front. That's Paul Seward. So as you look at the rest of the battles coming through, there's too many others to mention obviously. That's the 55 bike. Well, those two are still at it. Mr. Kitely. 51. They come down to the hill. 51. 68, that is just going through there. That's Richard Armstrong. Try and give as many of these guys as I mentioned as possible. They may have sponsors out there that eagerly part with their cash each week or each year to help these guys race. And there is an organisation now that deals with this particular subject, Adopt a Racer it's called. And if you look up the website Adopt a Racer, you can maybe sponsor a rider. Be a nice thought. Help these lads keep racing because it's a pretty expensive sport. Who's out front right about now? And it is Anderton back in the lead. Burns is still there in second place. It's still Fowler there in third. Number 7, Danny Fowler, the Broadstairs rider on the Peter Lawrence Racing Yamaha 600. They're all 600s in this class. I was always led to believe that they weren't allowed to do much in the way of tuning, but I'm told differently now. There's a lot goes on without people knowing about it apparently, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But up the hill they go. It's still John Anderson at the moment. Well, gone backwards and forwards from the front to second to third and back to the front again. 39 tips it into the corner there, into his. That's Darren Cooper from Much Hall. Here's that 68 bike again, as I spoke on earlier, going through Richard Armstrong. Judging by the horse bike on the side, I can't guess that was a Yamaha. Here comes the top three, and well, Burnsy having another look. Can he make it through? Under brakes. Oh, that's brave. Weather conditions like this, that's extremely brave, I reckon. He's a man on a mission, a man who could end up on the floor if he's not careful. Anderson, and Anderson's lost it! Oh, down he went, bang, crash, wallop. John Anderson on the floor, and I think he's had the wind knocked out of him actually, judging by the way he's very gingerly making his way onto the grass. He came right down on his back, and that's knocked the wind out of him for sure. Well, what a shame. It just let go. A little bit too much on the right hand, let go and just chucked him over the top. That now means that number 22, Gary Johnson, has moved up into third. There is the race leader, number 17. Still there is Burnsy. A late injury, I think, because I don't actually see it in our programme, so obviously he's turned up at the last moment. Certainly he's upset what's going on behind him. 55, Tony Kelty from Milton Keynes, still engaged with Brian Bartlett from Ashford on the Dynatech tune machine, having their own little private war here at the moment. In fact, those two have been almost inseparable throughout the whole race. I'm beginning to wonder about you two boys. Don't share garages, do you, by any strange coincidence? Perhaps they're just good friends. So, it's Danny Fowler then, that's out front on the number 7 bike. Gary Johnson was in third place. Oh, and I think we've got a red flag gone up here. Yes, I think this race is going to get stopped short. There is Fowler. Gary Johnson is... Well, I think Gary Johnson's gone to second because we've lost Burns. Well, what do the results say? We can't see anything on the track except there's the red flag, so the race has been stopped after just 9 laps. Danny Fowler, Gary Johnson, Christian Attu. So indeed we did lose Burns. Simon Payto there from Paul Stewart. Darren Cooper, Richard Armstrong, Mike Goodfellow, Chris Coates and Tony Kilty there in 10th. Welcome here to Brands Hatch Stand. This is round 4 of the MRO Powerbike Tour, and we're with this time the Axe Murderers, those Supersport 600 guys. Only one leads the series, Mike Goodfellow on 53 points. He's a trained mechanic, does all his own work. Number 7 coming down onto the line, Danny Fowler, of course. Well, you'll know Danny. He's second in the series, 52 points. Number 84, Paul Stewart. He's third with 47 points. So our top 3 point scorers along the grid, as they say. Number 8 there just momentarily. That's Andy Weymouth from Grays on the Sun Chemicals Yamaha. But that's the boy to look out for, number 81, Mike Goodfellow. Let's hope he has a good race here today as they come under starters' orders. The lights have changed. The Supersport 600 is underway. The Axe Murderers are off and running. Well, there's a full grid of them, and here they come, and it's Goodfellow that leads them away. He was 7th in the Bouncy Rookie 600 Championship in 2001. 7-year-old ex-road race Honda CBR 600. It's got something a little bit better than that now, I think. A little bit tuning this year, but it's Goodfellow that leads. As they scrap it out, Danny Fowler going through there. He hasn't had what we would call the best of starts, but he's still in the top 6. But Goodfellow leads down the hill to end the first lap almost, so an 81 leads, and the battle's on now for second and third, because it is that number 8 point of Andy Weymouth there in second. Danny Fowler was there in third. Here they come round the top of the track. Now remember, we're on the Grand Prix track here at Brands Hatch, and many of these guys have not really had the chance to ride the circuit, or have ridden it very few times, so it's a bit of a delight to be on the Grand Prix circuit this year. So 81, Mike Goodfellow from Cranley there on the Cranley Freights Honda leads this one from number 8, Andy Weymouth. From number 7, Danny Fowler from Broadstairs on the Peter Lawrence Racing Yamaha. It's all cut and thrust from these guys. Here comes Goodfellow once again. Remember, he leads the standings coming here today. Looking back, that would look like 69 indeed. It was 69 there, and that's Phil Seaton. As the rest of the field make their way through, trying to make up those positions for those precious points. And it's only round 4 of the championship. So here comes Goodfellow, Weymouth, and look at this, number 7. Well, Danny Fowler dropping back there. He almost lost it coming out of the chicane. He just didn't quite catch it, but he did. Had the bike squirming all over the place. So back tire on that bike, I think is already cooked. So they disappear to the top end of the circuit once again, and it's Weymouth that's making a break for the lead. Goodfellow having a look. There is the number 7 bike again of Daniel Fowler. Well, he was third, he's now dropped back to 5th. stay here, but it's Goodfellow who leads. Danny Fowler still back there behind. I think it's Phil Seaton on that 69 bike, the Colchester-based rider. And here comes the 81 bike in the lead. Mike Goodfellow. As the rest of the field chase them down. Very fast down this start to finish straight, these guys are. Here comes the race leader. Second, it's still number 8. Andy Weymouth. There's that 69 bike going through. And we got a faller. It's Goodfellow. The race leader has gone down. Well, he won't hold his lead in the championship standings after this day, I think. That's definitely going to be a nil point. So you silly boy, Mr. Goodfellow. So Andy Weymouth takes up the cudgels at the front now. Phil Seaton's still in there as well, and that's of course Daniel Fowler behind him. Danny Fowler's the rest of the field make their way through, having their own personal little wars further down the pecking order, as they say. Heading up towards that Grand Prix loop, so we don't normally see that particular loop. Here they come. So Weymouth it is that leads from 84, Paul Stewart. Then Fowler going through into third place with that 69 bike of Phil Seaton pushed back into fourth. A bit further down the field there, that looks like the 92 bike. Yes, indeed it is. That's Gareth Davis from Darren. I'm quite sure where that is. That should be let the stone late. But this is the battle out front. Weymouth it is, and Seward in second, Fowler third, 69 Seaton there in fourth. So a bit of a mix here. The rest of the field make their way through. You see number 14 just going through. That's Lee Hodge from Chesham, just up the road from me. Good wait for when I go through there next time. So if we come back onto the start and finish straight and back down towards. We've got a change at the front. Is it Seward that's got the lead? No, Seward I think had the lead there, and Andy Weymouth came back. Oh, and there he is. Oh well, Mike Goodfellow there, taking a quick, well-earned guzzle of water. He did through that, mate. I think his mum's going to be beating him over the head with something when he gets home. Fancy doing that. It is Andy Weymouth then who leads this one. Paul Seward there, the man in second place from Waterlooville. They've got a famous sidecar motocross circuit down there, you know. I remember these things. Very dusty. That looks like the 94 bike just going through there of Doug Cannon from Pitstone on the Chaos Racing machine. It's a bit dusty up this side of the circuit. Only time we normally see this is on the very silver bike. But look at his back at the front, and it is number 7, Danny Fowler, that's beginning to turn up the wick. He's chasing down these two in front, and the guy behind on the Kawasaki, which was I think 69, which will be Phil Seaton, beginning to apply the same amount of pressure. So we could see some mistakes from these guys. It's Seward now that leads again. Seward is, and back up the inside goes Andy Weymouth. Well, oh, good God, that was Fowler. Number 7, well, he almost dumped that one. See what I mean? It's all action. Number 14 once again going through there, Lee Hodge. If only he knew what was going on at the front, he'd be frightened stiff. So, back into the lead goes Andy Weymouth. Daniel Fowler from Broadstairs on that Peter Lawrence Racing Yamaha R6. I think he's back there in 4th now. Lucky to be still on the track after that one. Holy smoke. Weymouth then from Seward from, well, it's 69. Yes, indeed, that is Phil Seaton. I think we've got somebody else about to join in the fray there on another Kawasaki. I think that could well be number 64. That would be Craig Sproston from Southport. It says it on a Honda, but that looks very like a Kawasaki to me. I could be wrong, painted it green. What colour he has his bike in, entirely his business. Weymouth leads, Seward there in second. Seaton, Fowler, that's the top 4 at the moment. We've got another one that's joined on the back of that little group, so I'm not sure who that is. They're coming through the best part 160 mile an hour, so it's a little difficult to read their numbers. As they come up to the hairpin, it's definitely that number 8 bike that leads, and Seward having a look up the inside. Well, he's swapped lines this time. Weymouth goes around the outside. Seaton still sits there. There's Fowler. Just trying to pick up who that is. That looks like the number 6 bike there of Brian Bartlett's from Ashford on the Dynatech Yamaha. But here they are, back at the front. And it's all getting just a little bit fraught out there. They're all going to be falling over each other, I think. Oh, and out goes, well, I think that's 79, yeah. Jason Page from Bisley, he's out of this one. Here they come again, Weymouth, Seward. 64, I was right, and it is green. I've never seen a green Honda before. Craig Sproston. A little bit further down the field once again. Could have been 67, we just got a glimpse off there. Richard Kemp from Clapton. Might be wrong, but as I said, it's quite hot here today. And the sun shines on the number plates. Seward leads. No doubt about that. Seward definitely leads. Seaton back there in fourth. Sproston there in fifth. As we look again further down the field, that could have been 21 just going through there, and that would be Richard Freshwater from Peacehaven on the MG Sear Plant Yamaha. So here we are. It's 84 in the lead. Paul Seward from Waterlooville. The battle is not yet over. Oh, and again! Oh, Daniel Fowler, what are you doing? He's either put a very second-hand tyre on the back of that bike, or he's just getting a little bit eager on the throttle every time. That's twice he's been given a warning round there. 66 going through, and that's Barry Alden from Farnham. Oh, and on the floor, we've got somebody off. Now, who is it? Could be 61 or 67. It's Norman Bruton at 61. It's Richard Kemp at 67. Difficult to see at that angle, but it's definitely number 8, Andy Weymouth. Now, where is Seward? Is he? Yes, he's out in the front. He's already starting to pull a considerable gap over the chasing bunch, so let them squabble over those places as the rest of the field squabble over the remaining points that are left on the table to take home towards the championship standings. But Paul Stewart, number 84, has definitely decided he's had enough of playing madhouse with the three behind. Andy Weymouth also trying to clear off. There's Fowler in third, so he's recovered from that almost second one over the bars. But here he comes, Seward, looking very good at the moment. And this is that battle for second place. Look at the Smoking Joe. And we'll look a little bit further down the field. Here they come. The Craze Brigade going for this, trying to outbreak each other. Going into the right hand. We've lost somebody there. Oh dear, points everywhere. Certainly the marshals would have been ducking that time. That was about 3, I think, went down there at the end of that start straight, and that's quick. Hopefully they'll all be okay. Maybe we'll get a red flag. Paul Stewart doesn't care. He's led for the last couple of laps, so whatever happens, he will get the win. Here he comes. And he gets indeed the checkered flag, but who is going to finish in second place? Weymouth. Oh, and Fowler just managed to get that third from Craig Sproston. Then it was Phil Seaton, Simon Potter, Tony Kiltley and Gary Johnson, Richard Freshwater and John Butler there. 71 rounding out the top 10 with just the 6 points, but that's a good race. So there he is, Paul Seward on top of the podium, having to enjoy a champagne cocktail from the other two. Andy Weymouth there and Danny Fowler, very lucky I think to be on that third place after the two near offs. So yeah, share the champagne, why not? So the 600s, the Axe Murderers, once again provide us with great entertainment, as they always do. So welcome back here to Pembury for this 5th round of the MRO Powerbike Tour. Right, well as you can see we might have a bit of rain before much longer. Number 6 coming down onto the line, and that's Brian Bartlett. These are the Supersports 600s, says Dilute. Yeah, we know. 84, well there, that's Paul Seward. Paul of course leads the 600 class with 72 points. Coming here today, he'll be looking for a good result. Lights have gone to green. It's a full grid. The Axe Murderers are off and away. And as I said, a Brands Hatch, I think we're going to see our GP250 runner riding the 600 there. Let's see on that one. Decided to do that or not, Lee Dickinson, but these are the guys he's going to have to mix it with. So here they go. Around the back end of the circuit for the first time as they head down towards us. We get a glimpse of those numbers. They are so far away, and our cameraman here deciding to take a very wide shot. It makes life a little bit difficult for us. So the come back down, and I can see that number 6 bike in there, Brian Bartlett. Phil Seaton not that far behind him. Paul Seward is up there as well. Gary Johnson's the boy to look out for, number 22. So they head down to the hairpin for the second. We've got somebody off at the bottom. Can't see who that is, but someone's gone missing. And it is the 22 bike of Gary Johnson then that leads them through. So I'm looking down the standards here, and where is Gary Johnson? Well, he's fourth with 44 points, just a few points behind Mike Goodfellow, who's currently on 53, Danny Fowler, who's on 68, and of course Paul Seward, who's on 72. And a little further down, Andy Weymouth on 37, Phil Seaton on 33, Simon Pato on 27, Christian Attu on 24. So a lot to race for here at Pembroke for these guys. Oh, up the inside there, did he make that stick? Brian Bartlett looking very determined to get through there if he possibly could. And Brian, in actual fact, doesn't seem to feature in the top 10 as far as points are concerned. So maybe it's the first time ride for him in the class, I don't know. Dynatech machine. So here we go, 22 is the man up front, Gary Johnson. And terribly known to me. He comes from Brig on that Dynamax UK Honda, but he's looking good at the moment. And can he stay out front to the end? That's the question, with the rest of the pack chasing through. That's the 84 bike right behind him now in second place. So Paul Seward from Waterlooville on the Pompey Tyres Yamaha, looking to try and get through to maximise his point score. The number 6 machine of Bartlett definitely there. He comes from Ashford on the Dynatech Yamaha, so a good mixture of Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki's out there, and 1 or 2 Kawasaki's of course. Here they come. This looks like the battle, I think, for third place. And that Dynatech machine in the hands of number 6 Brian Bartlett really is starting to shake these guys up. So he's looking for a good result. Here's the race leader, and it's still 22. It's still 84. Paul Seward there in second. Oh, we've lost somebody at the back there. Somebody went flying off the track. That could, well, I'm not sure. It might have been Andy Weymouth maybe have gone down at the back. I'm not sure. Well, it may have even been Daniel Fowler. I'm not absolutely sure about that. I think we've lost Daniel already. Could have been Richard Freshwater. I'm trying to work it out. I couldn't see the number obviously from that distance. I'm trying to work it out on the lap sheets here. There's no mistaking who's out front. It's Gary Johnson. Paul Seward in second place. Keep an eye out for 17, Duncan Burns. Another rider that's up there as the rest of the field make their way through. 1 or 2 casualties already, as you've seen. Number 9 there, Keith Watts on the DD Slatin Honda. But this is the battle out front, and it's still a 22 bike that has it. Gary Johnson from Brig ahead of Paul Seward, number 84. And Seward, well, he leads the championship, doesn't have to win this race. This looks like the scrap that's on for around about 3rd and 4th, 5th places. And we've got a right mixture in there, but here comes the lead-in 2 once again. 22 and 84. Distinctive, of course, that Honda with that rear pipe sticking out the back under the seat. Here we come. I'm trying to pick up who's who at the moment. And as you can see, it's they're coming through so thick and fast. But the lead-in 2, there's no doubt in who they are. I can still see that number 6 bike of Brian Bartlett. 17, Duncan Burns is in that lot as well, and so is Phil Seaton. And Mike McCluskey's all on the 96 bike is also there. And Kenny Gilbertson in the top 8 at the moment on the 32 bike. So they're all amongst that group. There is that 6th bike coming through. So he is there. Brian Bartlett hanging on to that one with the Dynatech machine. Drops it down into the hairpin and looks to have gone up one place. So that could put him up to 3rd. There's the first 2. Gary Johnson now having to contend with the 84 bike from Seward, who's closed the gap. So as the rest and the remainder of the field come through, it's still going on at front, and Seward's still not able to find that extra little bit of drive to get through and pass the man out front, but he's having a good go at it. as they brake heavily to go into the right-hander. This is that battle for third place. Brian Bartlett's in there. That could well be Duncan Burns just out front of number 17. It is a good old scrap going on for third. There are 3 abreast going into the hairpin. And I can see then that the race leader Gary Johnson pulling a little bit of a gap now over second place man Paul Seward. Maybe those tyres are just starting to go off. We've been expecting some rain here, but it hasn't arrived as yet, thankfully. It's quite sunny, track's quite warm, great racing conditions. So I like this little track down here at Penry, but I do find it's a little flat and a little bit uninspired, as they say. But there's that battle for that third place, and it is number 6 that's there at the moment. A change, I think, from I say the Dynatech machine. It looks very much like Brian Bartlett's bike, well, judging by those distinctive colours. As they race down to complete another lap, as we wait for the race leaders to come back into view. Just look at the view in the back pattern. There he is, Gary Johnson. Has this pretty well sewn up, barring any mistake. There's that, a change again for third. That is the 17 bike then of Duncan Burns has gone to third. The Brian Bartlett now into fourth. That's Phil Seaton, 69, that's sitting back behind those two, so he's in fifth. Where's that Mike McCluskey? I'm not absolutely sure, I can't see the number. Big old track this, you know. And they do motor down this bit of the track. They are really going flat out as they brake hard into the right-hander to come down onto the start-finish straight. But there's that scrap for third, and it is the 17 bike that has it. I'm about to say, I thought for a moment that was all going to change, but it didn't. There's the race leader. Oh, we've got somebody off at the top there. I can see the first aid crew legging it across to the hairpin, so somebody's obviously dumped it on the floor. That might be. There's that Kawasaki just going through there. Themselves out, it's always the same old story. You have to wait till they come back in the sight before you can see who they are. It is 17 that's third, from 6 that's fourth, so we're fairly sure on that one. Duncan Burns from Bolton on the Gifford Garage Honda, and the rest of the field pick their way through. To complete another lap, we wait for the leading group to come back towards us as the laps tick away, and windy here today as well, as you will hear. There is the race leader, 22. No mistake in that man. He's been out there basically from the turn of the lights. And Paul Seward on that number 84 bike, really, I think, deciding to let the man have it. That looked like the 32 bike there momentarily. I thought that would be Kenny Gilbertson. And Kenny at the moment running at about 7th, so the former 125 rider beginning to equip himself well to these 600 bikes. Race leader. Just being a little held up there by the slower rider, so I'm sure there were some blue flags out there somewhere. But he's going to take it, I think. Yes, he does. Clear win for Gary Johnson from Paul Stewart. Duncan Burns did take out third. Brian Bartlett in fourth. Phil Seaton at the fifth. Mike McCluskey. Kenny Gilbertson in seventh. Simon Pato. Christian Attu. Mike Goodfellow there on the 81 bike, taking 10th place. Welcome back here to Brands Hatch, number 47 there going down onto the line. Lee Dickinson, of course, Lee, the current 250cc GP champion and also the series leader, having a go here in the 600s. There is the 600 series leader, 84, Paul Seward. So he'll be hoping maybe to keep Dickinson behind him. So Dicko changing up to the 600 class, as he said he was going to just a short while ago, and sticks the bike on pole. Paul Seward there beside him, Paul Seward's got a better start than Dickinson, so the 600 series leader. These, of course, are the axe murderers, as we so call them. And it looks like 81 that's got the drop on the rest. Mike Goodfellow. And Goodfellow currently sits fourth, coming here today, 59 points. Just 9 points behind Danny Fowler on that number 7 machine. But it is Goodfellow that's got the lead as they come through to complete the first lap. I just caught a glimpse and then that leads them through. As the rest of the field pick their way gingerly up into the hairpin. Goodfellow still has it from 22, Gary Johnson in second place. So, as always, a full grid for these 600s, and we should be in for some cracking racing. Just caught a glimpse there of Dickinson going through, so he's in there, but hasn't had the best of starts. A lot of work to do yet before he gets on terms with the two guys out front. I'm sure Dicko can do it. Of course, he'll be out a little later on in the 250 Grand Prix race, in which he leads the series considerably, I would say. He is the current champion, so maybe if he'd joined the 600s a little earlier in the season, we might have seen him somewhere in the top 3 chasing for this title as well. We have seen 2 titles taken in this powerboat class before, done by Sam Cork, who now rides in the Privateer Cup, pretty sure, right? He took across the 600 and the powerboat tour. What was that, 2 years ago? Rest of the field coming through, fighting for those remaining points. Number 43 there being one of them. And charging like the reverber, that's David Wicks, incidentally. But it's still Goodfellow that leads it. It's still Johnson there in second place. So I'm keeping a watch. There is Dickinson, just got a glimpse of him. So he's beginning to chip away at the guys out front. So Dicko really is the man to look out for. That's, I think, the 98 right there, just going through that rather pretty looking machine of Matthew Rostrom. I apologise. 81 leads, Goodfellow. Johnson still second, 84. Stewart it is that they're in third place. The championship leader coming here today. Just needs to keep scoring points in that top 3, and that should keep him in touch with the championship this year. A few more rounds still left to go, but the battle is on, certainly out front. Goodfellow it is, it still has it, number 81. Mike, of course, from Cranley, on the Cranley Freight Honda. As the rest of the field make their way through, number 30 there, leading them through. And as we wait now to see, that's actually Sam Green, that's on the number 30 bike. It's still Goodfellow, and it's still the 22 bike of Gary Johnson from Brig on the Dynamax UK bike that's in second place. 84. Seward is still there as well, shadowing those 2 out front. Seward, of course, from Waterlooville on the Pompey Tyres Yamaha. And I'm looking back behind those 2. I can see Dickinson there in 5th place. So Dicko's going to have to work a little harder. I think that's 21 there, Richard Freshwater from Peacehaven, that's just gone through past the finish, but it's still Goodfellow that leads it. As we take a look at some of our slower riders, there is that 30 bike, as I said earlier. There's the 92 machine there, just going through Gareth Davis from Durant. Here is Goodfellow. He really has got this one certainly in control of it. He's got a bit between his teeth. The change there for second place. Johnson down to 3rd. Seward has gone through to 2nd. There's the 92 bike leading that other group, Gareth Davis. So we've got battles right down through the field. Remember, points to 15th place, so it's important. And Seward, well, he's looking to try and get underneath the race leader, number 81. We're all safely round this. So somebody's off there. That's 95, Daniel Gibbons from Tunbridge Wells. And well, I don't know how on earth he managed to get the bike over the tyre wall, but he has done. And let's hope that he's going to get up and walk away just a little bit bruised and dazed. But he's got to get that bike back. That might be there for some time. There is Lee Dickinson, and 4th place for him now. Chasing down Gary Johnson from Brig on the 22 bike. So we've got the top 4, and here comes Dicko up the inside. Is he going to make that under braking? And the answer is, we'll have to wait and see. No. Or has he? Yes, he has. He's at, this could all end up in tears, you know. They could end up like that bike there from Gibbons, upside down on the other side of the tyre. I've never seen a bike quite placed in that position before here at Brands Hatch. That's quite novel. He has got up and walked away, so I think he is okay. But there is Dickinson, the Grand Prix 250 Series leader and reigning champion, coming into this 600 class at the middle stage of the series. And he goes through to 3rd. Well, what an overtaking that was on Johnson. Just duped him up the other side and just went the other way. I think Johnson was expecting him around the outside. He's going for second, understood Seward, and he's got it. So Paul Seward there wasn't expecting that particular move. Now Goodfellow's next. We've got a retirement here, and that looks like number 28 has gone out. Lee Cross from Grays. So he won't be scoring any points here. Now we've got a change in the front. No, we do not. It's still Goodfellow, and it's Dickinson there, second place. So Dicko, 5th to 4th, 4th to 2nd. Basically almost in a couple of laps. So Dickinson now beginning to have a look at that first position, that race lead. Here it comes. Is he under brakes into the right-hander? Yes, I think he has. Wait just for a moment. And indeed he has gone into the lead. So Lee Dickinson then, number 47 from stand 3 on that Cambridge 4x4 Yamaha 600, out there in front. And that's where we expect to see him in the GP250 class. Almost untouchable. I was going to say he's untouchable in that class. I think that's the reason why he decided to change to 600s. Challenge, although he apparently used to ride 600, so that was strange to the class. Somebody back marker there just dutifully waving the leading 4 through, leading 5, because I think number 6, Brian Bartlett from Ashford on that Dynatech Yamaha has decided to join in this little group out front, so we've now got a 5-way tussle, but Dickinson it is that leads it. Dicko in control. Then it's Goodfellow, then Seward, then Johnson, then Bartlett. It's all getting a bit close out there. These axe murderers taking no prisoners. That looks like the number 70 bike, indeed it is, of John Butler from Minster. He may well have been that back marker that just went past. So no change at the moment in the top 4. But Bartlett closing up as we look a little bit further down the field to see who's who and where they are. Dickinson already beginning to stretch that advantage that he has. He has really taken to this bike like a duck to water, as they'd say. But the tussle now, who's going to finish in second, I think. Goodfellow has it at the moment. Bartlett sits that back, well, he's sitting back there at the moment in fifth, just waiting for an opportunity. Here they come. Johnson up to the side of Seward, so the two riders at the top of the standings battling for third position. Here they come again, and they're into the back markers. And this is where it can all go woefully wrong for these guys. Goodfellow, Johnson, Bartlett. So those slower riders, I'm not sure whether they are actually obeying those blue flags, but they do not appear to be moving over very rapidly. That's the leading group as they come back onto the start and finish straight yet again. Here they come. Yellow blacks out. Last lap, 1 more to go. Dickinson leads, and he looks over his shoulder to see where second and third are. Don't spend too much time looking, Dicko, because they're right there. Those back markers, I think, are certainly going to help to keep those guys back away from the race leader before the checkered flag. 21 going through, and that is Richard Freshwater. Not a good race for him, to say the least, but it is Dickinson. Freshwater running 11th at the moment. Dickinson out front, and I think certain to take the win here and the maximum points. So the 250 GP champion at the moment swapping classes and showing the reason why he can, because he's good enough to do so. Who's going to get second? Looks like tonight Goodfellow. Gary Johnson looks to be taking third. Paul Seward then in 4th position. So that battle at the top of the stand is still looking good. Brian Bartlett, Kenny Gilbertson and Daniel Farrell, Mike Bradley, Lee Hodges and Simon Pato in 10th position. So welcome back here to Cadwell Park for the Supersport 600 race. Number 32 pulls down onto the line there, Kenny Gilbertson. And let's have a look at the standings as they go into this race. Paul Seward is the series leader, 105 points from Gary Johnson. There is Gary, number 22, 85 points behind. Mike Goodfellow in third with 79. Danny Fowler on the number 7 bike with 77 points. Phil Seaton in 5th, 44 points, and Simon Pato in 6th position. So there's 3 laps still to go. It's all to fight for, and they're double points, remember, at Brown Satch at the last round. So there still is a chance chance of the man out front. Of course, that is Paul Seward on that 84 bike, losing this championship. He needs to finish well up in each race from now on. He wants to hold on to that particular lead that he's got now. And it is the 22 bike that's gone into the lead, Gary Johnson. That's Seward there on the 84 bike. And where is he now? About 6th place at the moment, so he needs to do better. As it said on the score report at the end of the year. Must do better. Oh, a mistake there, I think, from Johnson. So that's the 17 bike behind him. That's Duncan Burns. And as they, well, someone's gone out. Hand up from somebody. Can't see who it is. Just didn't get a glimpse of the number in front of the bike, but he's gone. Could only be a mechanical problem. Very competitive class. They come through. Only one Mike Goodfellow there. And Mike, of course, sits third in the championship, 79 points. Only 6th behind Gary Johnson. 6 points separate on 2nd and 3rd, so a chance here for Mike Goodfellow maybe to move himself up a place and go to final 3 rounds. So remember, final round of Brands Hatch, they get double points, so the championships could be won or lost at the final round. 22 looks over his shoulder. Gary Johnson on the holder. He's off and away with this one. All he has to do is keep those wheels on the floor and keep the bike upright, and it should come his way today. Gary Brigg on the Dynamax UK Honda. A lot of racing still to go. Here we go. Let's look a little bit further back. Just got a glimpse there of number 94. That's Doug Cannon from Pitstone on the Chaos Racing machine. Full grid, of course, as you would expect in the 600 class. 22 leads it. Danny Fowler on the 7 bike. Through in 2nd place, Paul Seward through in 3rd. 16, that's Andy Salford. The distinctive machine, obviously. 32, Kenny Gilbertson there. Kenny, of course, you know him better from when he rode in the 125 Super Team class. Moving on and up through the ranks, here's the 94 bike going through. As they spread out just a little bit. Here comes the race leader. It's still Gary Johnson. Well, he's away with this. Danny Fowler still there behind him. Here's Danny Fowler. Sun shining down on the front numbers of these bikes. It's difficult. I just see Andy Scott. Before there, James Dora from Perth. As the sun shines down on us here at Cadwell Park, you couldn't have asked for a better day as far as the weather is concerned for racing. Dry track. Blue sky with a few scattered clouds up there, so I don't think we're going to get any rain, which is not bad for this time of the year. Although I must say, when it gets a little bit rainy and wet, it does make the racing a tad more exciting. It starts a little bit exciting, but we don't see anybody off their bikes today. Let's hope that everybody stays on and stays healthy. The rest of the field make their way through down towards that new little chicane. As I said, that's where they come out of that new chicane. 22 still leads, no change there. It is still the man out front, Gary Johnson from Brigg. Dynamax machine working absolutely beautifully. And there is 2nd place, it's still Danny Fowler from Broadstairs on the Peter Lawrence Racing Yamaha. So we've got a Yamaha in 2nd. We've got a Honda leading the race. There's the number 62 bike going through of Kevin Stone from Peacehaven. I'm not sure who his sponsors are. Nothing in the programme regarding that. So there's the race leader. As he got this well and truly sorted out. But this is the back of the 2nd field. And the rest of the field filing through. So it's still now, if he wins this over the man that currently leads the series, I'll try to work out ahead the points down, 25, 20, 16, so he'll get 25 points. If Paul Seward finishes 3rd, he will get 16 points. So that will close the gap up between them by a little bit. I'll let you do the arithmetic. As I said at the start of the race, Paul Seward leads with 105 points. So 20 points is the difference between Gary Johnson and Paul Seward. So that would put Gary 9 points ahead, or 9 points closing the gap on the man out to the front. So yeah, 3 rounds still to go. There's a chance for Gary Johnson to take the 600 time. And the way that he's riding here at the moment, I think very likely to do it. The double points score for the last round at Brands Hatch. He is going to unnerve some of these riders going into that last round. Looks like the 76 bike just going through there. So with the sun shining down on the front of these bikes, a little bit difficult with some of their numbers. Especially the speed they're travelling at, these guys. 22, this is an easy one to read because he's way out front. Second place man should still be Danny Fowler, and it is. 84 Paul Seward still are in third. Not sure whether that was a backmarker sandwich between them or not. May have been Craig Sproston. That is Craig. I'm very sorry, Craig. You are in the top 3 at the moment. As I said, with the sun shining on the front of the bike, it's difficult to see some of the numbers. You need to use thicker black numbers, guys. 22. They're the sort of numbers we can read. This one behind you a little bit more difficult. It is 37, I think. Yeah, looks like 37 that's in there. That's Michael Rose. And Michael, well, I'm not quite sure where you're running at the moment. 96 going through. And he's running well at the moment. And that's Martin Jowett from Elion. The rest of the field come through, they just bowl around this rather spectacular Cadwell Park circuit. I have to say it's one of my favourite circuits, not necessarily as a rider but for television purposes. It's a lovely circuit, and since the joke is 37, so that is the man at the moment, Michael Rose, that's come from literally nowhere up to challenge the guys out front. So he is now challenging Danny Fowler, who's currently in second place. So this boy is having a good ride. Oh, the red flag has gone out, so who have we lost? Well, it seems to be a day of red flags here at Cadwell Park. So the crowd will sit patiently and wait for them to come back onto the line. Yeah, we're going to have a 2-part race. So I'm not absolutely sure who we've lost at the moment. It may have been Michael Rose that we lost just then. Good look down through the corners that come past us. Didn't spot the 37 bike, so it may well have been Michael that went down. We'll wait and see as they come around the top for the first time. Here they come. 22 once again leads it. Now we're going to have an aggregate race, I presume. So when the checker flag does indeed go up, it will be worked out for positions at the end of the race in part 1 to the end of the race here in part 2 of the 600. So as I've said before, it's aggregate race and the times will be worked out accordingly. So here they come. There's no mistaking who leads it. 22, Gary Johnson, he already is. Trying to pick up second and third. Oh, just caught a glimpse. Oh, Danny Fowler, in second, down at about 4th at the moment. So there's Gary. He's enjoying himself here today, that's for sure. Good old scrap going on for second place. With all that looks like the 43 bike going through. Indeed it is. That's Dave Wicks from Harrogate on the Wicks engineering machine. Looks like a Kawasaki, but it's green and blue. Last that flag goes out. It's 22 that leads. Looks like 17 that now is second on the track. So that's Duncan Burns. But next time round, I don't think he'll take second in the actual aggregate standings of the race. Looking back for Danny Fowler. Sure that Danny is back there around. That looks like Danny in 4th. It is. So Danny Fowler is 4th. So if I do my reckoning, that would put Danny second in the outcome of the race, the actual official result. So it's 22-17 on the track. It will be 22-7 on the results at the end of the race. That's of course if they stay where they are for the remainder of this lap. Anything can change. It generally does here at Cadwell Park. It's a twisty circuit. It's very demanding on the riders and the machines. They drop down the hill and back up the hill. Requires a great deal of attention. 41 in that little group there. As they come back down, and 41's actually Andy Peat. Here comes the leader. That lead, 17 closing up. Duncan Burns closing up on the race leader, but it's not going to make any difference whatsoever, because next time round he's going to get the checkered flag. 22. Gary Johnson led the first part of this race until the red flag came out. Has led the second part of this race, and I think should easily be on course to take the maximum points. 24 just going through there. As they come round now, it's going to be a checkered flag for 22. Gary Johnson, here he comes. Second over the line there with 17, Duncan Burns, but that won't give him second on the combined scores from part 1 and part 2 of this race. It should be Danny Fowler then that takes second, but there you are. Gary Johnson, our Supersport 600 winner here from Cadwell Park, round 7 of the MRO Powerbike Tour Series. Next round goes, as I say, to Silverstone. Interesting to see what they do there. So let's have a look at those confirmed results now we've done all the adding up. Gary Johnson then indeed the winner from Danny Fowler, Paul Seward. Duncan Burns eventually finished there in 4th. Craig Sproson, Mike Goodfellow, Andrew Sorford, Neil McQueen, James Storer and Simon Pato down in 10th. Welcome then here to Silverstone for this 8th round of the MRO Powerbike Tour. We're going to start our action off today with those Supersport 600s, or best known to most of us as the Axe Murderers. And here they come, down onto the line. That's number 91, that's Matt Late. Looking down the standings at the moment, Matt, well, not in the top 10, so I'm not sure what's going on there. There is a man that certainly is. Second, Gary Johnson on the 22 bike, 110 points. And Paul Seward is the man that leads the standings. That's number 70 there. Down onto the line, that's Joe Butler. That's the number 8 machine. And that's Andy Weymouth. As we just take a look, 32 there. And that's Kenny Gilbertson. Kenny is in a pretty 1-2-5 right. Here we go then. The 600s get underway here for their race at Silverstone. This is round 8 of the series. Who's going to make the all-important first corner? Well, the big question, of course, in 600 racing, it's who will survive the first corner. They look as if they've all survived it nicely. Quite unusual for these guys. Full grid as you would expect. It's Andy Weymouth then that leads on the number 8 bike. Under pressure from number 22. Gary Johnson, of course, Gary has 110 points. Just 11 points behind Paul Seward, who of course rides that 84 machine, so look out for Paul. He'll be out there on the Yamaha R6, they're all 600 bikes. Here they come, but it looks to me as if the number 10 machine making a move there for the leaders. The rest come through, so into this relatively new section here at Silverstone. It's nice little chicanes, a bit we're talking about. Whereas before they used to sweep right around the right hand on and start the finish straight, they go into this little menagerie bit now. I have to say, not the favourite of most of the riders, but it does bunch them up a little bit and make the racing just a tad more exciting. Johnson is there in second place. I think it was Andy Weymouth who's still there on the number 8 bike, so keep an eye out for Matt Lake and Calvin Hogan on the 93 bike. 2 more to be well reckoned with. Paul Seward, of course, as I say, on the 84 machine leads the standings coming here today, just 11 points in front of Gary Johnson. 2 more rounds left to go. It's Weymouth that leads it. Lydon, of course, the next round. We go Brown Sachs for the final round. There is Paul Seward on that number 84 machine. There in second place, I think he was, or has he now dropped to 3rd? So it's a competitive class, this 600, and of course, you know, full grids. Great racing, 400 going very much the same way, which is great, but here they come, and it's still Weymouth that leads it. Johnson battling with Paul Seward, so the 2 guys that are chasing for the title here. Second and third at the moment. Johnson, second in the standings, for the man behind him, Paul Seward. And can Seward get through now? If he stays where he is, that's all he needs to remember. It's the last round of Brown Sachs scored double points. So I kind of think that's where we're going to see some of these championship rounds finalised. We're going to see the crowns being handed out at Brands. So we've got Lydon Bike Sport UK. Road racing, of course, the order of the day. As Johnson goes for the lead, he does 22 there. Gary Johnson on the R6 Yamaha makes a move for the lead. Now Gary knows what he's got to do. He's got to stay out in front of Paul Seward. Now, if he can finish first and Seward finishes second, well then that will be a 5 points clawback. That was either Duncan Burns going through down the 17 point. What was the 71 machine of David Lawrence?
Yeah, first time out on that one, I think, from memory.
22 definitely leads, no doubt about that one. Gary Johnson back there in front, doing what he needs to do. Andy Weymouth there, the number 8 bike, certainly keeping those two apart. There is Paul Seward, number 84. Weymouth is in front of him, so Seward will end up with 16 points. And if Gary Johnson wins, that's 25 points. So you do your arithmetic, only 11 points between them going to the next round. There's the number 5 bike going through. That's Nick Samson, incidentally. For those of you out there wondering who that was, here they come. Ooh, some changes going on here. I think let's have a scooty through our results list that's here in front of me. It's still the 22 bike the lead, still the 8 bike in second place, and still the 84 bike back in third. Good scrap between these three at the moment. Keep an eye out for 93 Calvin Hogan. Someone, is that Seward? Is that Paul Seward that's gone out? I think it is. Well, that is absolutely disaster for the man. It is. Seward has definitely gone missing. So, well, if Gary Johnson can take the 25 points, he will lead the championship going to the next round at Andy Weymouth, well, that's the 91 bike of Matt Late. Andy Weymouth there, and they're like, whoa! And that's what happens when you get it too tight on the corners. Lucky to survive that one. So that's going to give the 22 bike a chance to get away and get some space between himself and the chasing back. Andy Weymouth still there in second. And Andy, I think, questions about taking the win here. I'm sure Gary Johnson will ensure that he doesn't, because Gary needs those 25 points. But 11 points is, say, the difference from the top of the table coming here today. Paul Seward leads the championship, and this guy second with 11-point difference, and now if he stays as he does, and Gary Johnson keeps a clean pair of wheels, keeps it on the track, he will lead the championship going to the penultimate round down there at the Lindale Circuit. Back in the front, still Gary Johnson.
Just before the bridge on the club straight.
Andy Weymouth still having a
jumped over the barrier to safety.
If that works, that's a nice move.
Matt Late has been
very lucky there. Gary Johnson tipped it over and suddenly saw the rear end of Andy Weymouth's bike in his way. Just stood it up slightly, but it's Weymouth who now leads. Johnson now relegated to second place. He doesn't have to worry too much. With Paul Seward going out of this one, that could be enough, but is enough. Second place still giving the lead in the championship, 24. There is the 80 bike. I think that is just going through there. That would be Kevin Stoddard from Melksham. That's the 91 bike of Matt Late now. He tripped over Andy Weymouth on a previous lap. As they all come roaring through. It's such a quick circuit here at Silverstone. Now, no change at the front. Andy Weymouth still has it on the 8 bike. 22 Gary Johnson still hangs on the second place. Matt Late there in third. So I think Matt's now recovered from that little hiccup he had and will now start to close down. We just saw the abandoned machine on Paul Seward. Oh, someone's upside down here in a big way. So we've had a couple coming together there. I'm not sure who that is. But it was definitely upside down. So if it's number 11, it'll be the same by the way. So it doesn't really matter. Andy Weymouth still out front. Where is Johnson?
Across Gary Smith.
Still
Gary Smith's disappeared out from the running.
Yes, he is. 91 Matt Late has now got 34 John Anderson right behind him. John, the former Grand Prix 125 rider, on this 600 bike. And there indeed he goes. Whoa, just a little bit too much on the back end. And it looks like, yes, Matt Late has gone past Gary Johnson. That's the 14 bike going through there with Lee Hodges. Well, we've lost John Anderson. doesn't want to be finishing third. That would only be 16 points. It would be enough to get him into the lead of the championship going to the next round at Lyndon, but I'm sure he'd like a bigger margin than just a few points, just 3 or 4 points. So Andy Weymouth, number 8, has ridden an absolute superb race so far. Second place, it's Matt Lake. Third place then, Gary Johnson. Gary having an inspired ride, but he wants to do better. Johnson from Brigg on the Dynamax UK Honda. 31 bike just coming through here now. Adrian Pennyrill down, way down the at the moment, so got a lot of work to do. Wants to get into the top scoring position. Here comes Andy Weymouth, still out there in the lead. He's now second. Is it still Matt Late, or has Gary Johnson found a way through? They're already beginning to get in amongst the back markers, and the answer is it is Matt Late. Johnson still third. So a good scrap. I think Gary might just be waiting. Those back markers are going to play, I think, a very important role in this race. Oh, it's a real scrap going on here now as they all fight for position on the track. That's the 62 machine there of Kevin Stone from Peachhaven. Oh, sorry, Peacehaven. I do calling Peacehaven a peach. It probably is a peach of a place to live. So they head back over to the far side of the track once again. Remember, we're riding on the small track here. Now, Gary Johnson has gone past Matt Late. Yes, he has. So where is Andy Weymouth? Number 8. I think he's still out there in the lead. Is he waiting to see when they come under the bridges once again who it is that leads? Okay, we're picking up a few of our slower riders here, but we're just waiting to get a look to see who comes out from under the bridges. Is it going to be the number 8 bike? And, well, at the moment, we don't see him. So Matt Late's having his own little war with Gary Johnson. We're looking for Andy Weymouth, number 8. As we peer into the sunshine here at Silverstone. So whatever's going on here is either a good scrap for the second. I think Gary Johnson's gone back into the lead. I'm not absolutely sure. We'll know any moment now. Oh, and there's the checkered flag. So Andy Weymouth did indeed drop back in the latter stages of that race. Not seen by our cameras, but that's the result. Gary Johnson, Matt Late and Andy Weymouth. Calvin Hogan, Lee Hodges, Kenny Gilbertson, Duncan Burns, Bill McQueen, Mike Goodfellow and Norman Bruton down there in 10th. So here we are, it's time for the Axe Murderers, number 22 there, who leads the series. That's Gary Johnson. And Paul Seward, number 84, the man beside him. He is second in the standings coming here today. 121 points, 35. That's Simon Pato. Currently sits 6th in the standings. Number 8 is Andy Weymouth. But there is the series leader, and on pole, 22, Gary Johnson. The lights are about to change. And they do. Here they go. 600 racing. The Axe Murderers are underway, and on a track this size, oh, it could go anyway. Around that bottom corner for the first time. And not sure who it is. It looks like Gary Johnson's gone up the inside. That could be Simon Pato back there in second place. As they head down to Devil's Elbow for the first time, and then up Harry Hill to North Bend. That is definitely Johnson that leads it. On the 8 bike of Andy Weymouth there in second place. Yes, indeed, that is Andy Weymouth. So as they head down the other side, back onto Canterbury Straight, here they come, and it is Gary Johnson then. Paul Seward in third at the moment. It's a competitive class as we've got a full grid. In fact, there must be the best part of 30 bikes on that grid. So it's good to see that this 600 class is well supported, as it always is. Really good. So Gary Johnson, series leader, coming here today, leads this race. He wins this. One more round to go, which of course is Brands Hatch. Double points there. So with the points tally that he already has. He should wind that one up. Second place man there. A little bit of a wobble. There is third place man. That was 35. Got a little bit of a wobble on. As he comes round Simon Pato, back tyre tested for some reason. Getting the power down just a little bit too soon. The battle is certainly on at the moment. 22 leads. These are the Supersport 600s. This is Linden Hill, the penultimate round of the Power Block Tour 600 class. And Stewart goes through to into second place. So Andy Weymouth pushed down one to third. So it's now 22 that leads. 84, then number 8. So there is Gary Johnson. Fourth place in the hands of Simon Pato at the moment, 35. As they head back round that very tight right-hander. And it is tight there. Although it appears to be a little bit of a wall of death, it can deceive you when you go around there and the bike can start to get away from you. So head back down to Devil's Elbow once again. Back up Hairy Hill, here they come. Johnson has it. 22 on the bike. He's beginning to pull a gap over second, third and fourth. So if he keeps that rate up, I think he should be best part of 4 or 5 seconds in front of the rest of the field by the time they come home. In fact, it won't be long before Gary is actually in amongst the battle. Paul Seward chases in second place. Now Seward, remember, second in the standings. Coming here today, needs to score points, needs to finish in front of the man out front if he has any chance of taking this championship. So Paul Seward on the 84 bike. Race leader, second, third, fourth and fifth. Very close together. Could go anybody's way. There is Seward, 84 on the bike. The points gap between third and second. Where are we now? We're looking at Gary Johnson 135, Paul Seward 121. So as you can see, a result here, if he can finish in front of Johnson, that would give him, well, it wouldn't give him the lead in the championship, but it would certainly help claw the difference back going to Brands Hatch, where there are one race, but there are double points. So if you score 25 and win the race, you actually get 50. Hard on the brakes after coming down Dover side flat out. Here comes Seward, he's a little bit closer once again, so Gary Johnson will be aware that he's there. He's telling him the reducing seconds or hundreds of seconds that there are between the two of them. So Gary will place himself. But I think Paul Seward has definitely got a bit between his teeth. The red mist is down and he is looking to get past the man who's currently leading this race. Gary Johnson, 22. So head back down again. Gary still has it. Brakes go down hard, gearbox put under extreme pressures. They come back up Hairy into North Bend. Here they come, and Seward, he's definitely lining that man up for a pass. No doubt in my mind, he's definitely trying to work out where the best place is to go past him. Is it going to be down here? He's going to have to be very careful how he attempts this one. Oh, the checkered flag has gone out, so he didn't make it. So Gary Johnson, then Paul Stewart, and John Butler, it could have been, number 70, that was there in third. Kenny Gilbertson, then Mike Goodfella, Danny Fowler, and the rest of the guys making up the top 10. But a good ride for Gary Johnson going to the next round of round. So there is Gary, standing on the top step there, and a happy little man he'll be for sure. Welcome back then to Brands Hatch for this 600 race, number 81 coming down onto the line. That of course is Mike Goodfella, sponsored by AGW Roofing, Hondas. So good mention for his sponsor there, AGW Roofing, Honda. 84 of course is Mr. Seward, Paul Seward, who currently leads the standings, number 38 alongside him. That's Richard Norris on the Yamaha R6. These are of course the axe murderers, as we so call them. Andy Weymouth on the number 8 bike. He's on pole position, so here at Brands Hatch on this short circuit. We always have some great races. That's how the standings stack up. Gary Johnson leads slenderly for Paul Seward. Danny Fowler there in third with Mike Goodfellow, equal points in fourth place. Andy Weymouth in fifth. So it's really all about that third position between Mike Goodfellow and Danny Fowler at the moment. Remember, double points. Good to see a change out front as well. Paul Seward could snatch this. So Gary Johnson needs to ensure that he finishes higher than Seward to take the championship. Remember, we've only got a few points between them. Exact 46 for Paul Seward and 55, so that's 9 points the difference. Fowler is third with 107, Mike Goodfellow fourth with 107. So there is still a chance either Fowler or Goodfellow could snatch the championship. Remember, 50 points for a win, so that would be 157 for either Fowler or Goodfellow. If Gary Johnson doesn't finish and Paul Seward doesn't finish, Danny Fowler or Mike Goodfellow could win this class. Well, at the moment, it's the 81 bike then out front of Mike Goodfellow, the Honda CBR, the AGW roofing sponsored machine. He's got that well and truly sorted out. 47 bike, of course, is Lee Dickinson. You remember his brother just rode in the GP250s, Joe Dickinson. So Louis certainly a handy 600 rider. No danger about that. This lad's got the ability to ride a 600. I think he just needs a bit of financial help for next year. So Goodfellow leads it. Now let's just do some arithmetic here. If Mike Goodfellow wins this, that'll be 157 points. As I said, if Gary Johnson doesn't finish, there's Paul Seward, number 84 there. He's got 146 points. I've got to do my calculations here very rapidly. 99 they're going through. I think it was 99 just in the picture. So I'm just saying, roughly doing some calculations here. If Paul Seward doesn't finish the race, that would give Mike Goodfellow a very good chance of cracking this one. Number 8, Andy Weymouth, who leads it at the moment. He doesn't lead it, sorry, but he's battling here as the rest of the film make their way gingerly through. A bit of over-braking going on there from somebody. But it is Goodfellow that leads, 81. Looks like Andy Weymouth is now second. Dickinson into third. So remember, Lee Dickinson normally rides he's basically just won the GP12 or GP250 class. He is now the GP250 champion. That's the 51 bike going through there at the moment. So roughly doing my calculations to work out what the bits and pieces can happen. 51 of course with James Holmes from Bourne End, but Goodfellow leading. Weymouth second. Oh, and Seward's beginning to make a move on Dickinson. He goes past him cleanly. There is Mike Goodfellow and Weymouth, and so Paul Seward. Now, where is that 22 bike of Gary Johnson? We've really not seen much of Gary so far. He's in the top 8, I think. There he is, just right on cue. So Johnson, not a good start for a series leader. He's got to get up there into the top 3 if he wants to take the titles this year. The man who's got to beat there is number 84, Paul Seward. He's really on the ball at the moment now. He knows what he's got to do. His pit boards have given him the information. He's third. He's got Andy Weymouth. It's all getting a bit iffy out there now. There's a bit of fairing back going on. 9 comes up and round the hill. That's Keith Watt, chased by a horde of axe murderers. Now, 1, 2, 3. There is Seward, third. Gary Johnson has got to get with him, if not past him. Remember, there's a 9 points between the 84 bike of Paul Seward and the 22 bike of Gary Johnson. Goodfellow leads it at the moment. 74 comes round to complete another lap. That's David Manson from Stourport. But here is young Mike Goodfellow. Well, he really is on a Jonathan Cranley freight machine, sponsored by AGW Roofing. Must be a new sponsor he's picked up for this year. Wants us to mention it. I hope they've done you justice. And they're beginning to reel him in. Gary Johnson still down the place. That's no good, Gary. You've got to be up there in the top 3. 50 points, remember, for the win. Double points here at Brands Hatch today. 50 points, Goodfellow on a good chance here of elevating himself up. Andy Weymouth still in second. As they get the power down, as they complete another lap here at Brands Hatch. It's the 38 bike that I can see that's coming up the inside. That's Richard Norris. Richard having a good ride here, former champion. Richard will be looking for a good position. He's up the inside of Paul Seward. He's done it. So Seward drops to 4. Gary Johnson down there, I think, in 6th place at the moment. That looks like Dickinson that's in 5th. So he's got to get on terms with the man out front. Not quite the man out front, because remember 81, this man. And here comes Norris now. Richard Norris looks to be the spotter. Oh, the back end kicked out there on Andy Weymouth's bike. And somebody in the kitty litter. Can't quite read the number on that bike. Definitely a 2. Maybe 32. Maybe Kenny Gilbertson. Yes, it is Kenny Gilbertson. And Richard Norris has decided that he wants to be the spoiler in this party. Up into 2nd place. Seward, I think, has dropped to 4th. Where is the 22 bike? We're looking back a little bit further down the field. 51 there is James Holmes once again from Bourne End. So it's Goodfellow leading. Norris 2nd. Looks like Weymouth is in 3rd. There is the 22 bike of the series leader here today. Gary Johnson from Brig. The Dynatec UK tuned Dynamax, UK tuned up machine. Here they come. Seward is 4th. Norris goes for the lead. And does he get it? Yes, he does. Dickinson has decided to get back in on the act as well. So it's a 5-way scrap here for the win. 50 points, 54 there. Another good scrap for him. That's James Storer from Perth, I should say. I said he came from Penrith, it's Perth. But that's not in Australia. So where is Gary Johnson? And Andy Weymouth has gone back into the lead, I think. And 81 Goodfellow drops down to 3rd. So any chance Mike Goodfellow had of taking this championship on the last race, I think, has gone. Seward is there, and where is he? 3rd or 4th? Dickinson back there in 5th. A lot of very quick mathematical calculations going on here. They're in amongst the back markers. Andy Weymouth desperately trying to get past James Storer. And another back marker, number 58, about to join in this equation. Conor O'Brien from Dublin. Best place to live in the world at the moment. Concur. Lovely. Oh, somebody's in the kitty litter. Can't see who it is. The bit of bike up, I might get a glimpse of the number. Looks like number 70. Yes, it is. So that's John Butler from Minster. He's on out of this one. Now Andy Weymouth has dominated and stamped his authority on this one. And Seward goes to 2nd. So Seward now in last lap flag is out. Is this the check? And it is. It's got to be Seward then that's going to take the 600 crown for this year. Andy Weymouth wins the last race of the season, but I think it's Paul Seward that's going to be the champion. Fairly sure of it. Gary Johnson finishing down where it is 6th place. It is Seward. He's the new champ. Andy Weymouth celebrates the race win. And who runs Paul Seward off the track? I think it's time for Williams. Andy Weymouth. Seward 2nd, the new 600 champion. Norris, the former champion. Lee Dickinson, the GP250 champion. Goodfellow, a chance of a win but didn't do it. Gary Johnson lost it at the death. Lee Hodges, Michael Bradley, Simon Pato and Danny Fowler. And Paul Seward, he is the 2004 Axe Murderer of the Year Supersport 600 champion. Snatched it by just a meagre 26 points, but that's good enough.